On this episode of Travelogue, it's time to get hot and heavy in Beihai. We'll be checking out the different pace of life on the old street. We'll be bronzing ourselves on the silver beach, taking a trip out to Huizhou Island, having a quick peek at the Miss World Bikini Contest final, and much, much more. So get ready. Allez les bleus! Edwards. Welcome to Travelogue and welcome to Beihai on the southwest coast of China. This seaside resort is fast becoming one of China's most popular holiday beach destinations, and in the next half an hour we're hopefully going to show you the kind of things that you can expect to see, to do and to eat when you come down here, and hopefully the weather will pick up as well. Let's look forward to that. The pleasant city of Beihai on the Beibu Gulf is Guangxi's sole seaport. With over 2,000 years of history, the city was once a major node on the ancient marine Silk Road. With a population of around 500,000 people, it's projected to be the fastest growing city in the world from now until 2020. So, we've made our way to Guantou Hill, which is the highest point overlooking the whole of Beihai. All around you can see the city on your left, the sea on the right, there's trees, and there's a lovely sort of musty smell in the air of just nature. Getting around in Beihai is relatively convenient, as the city is small and compact. So we've made our way right to the city centre in Beihai, a city which is growing financially, economically and structurally at an incredible rate. Now, one of its main exports is the Beihai Sea Pearl. So, you won't be surprised to find that right in the city centre you will see a lady, lovely sea lady with not too many clothes, and she is holding a sea pearl highlighting the main export of the city, the pearls all around. The genuine pearls that come from Beihai are called Nanju, or southern pearls. They're famous for their characteristics, round, smooth, and with a dazzling crystal luster. But from pearls to arguably the cultural epicenter of the town, on the Old Street, or Laojie, off Zhongshan Road. The city began its growth in the late 19th century, after the Treaty of Yantai was signed with the British in 1876. European countries, including not only Britain, but also France, Austria-Hungary, Germany, Italy, Portugal and Belgium, along with the US, began to set up schools, offices, churches and banks here, mainly along Laojie. The street is famous for its old colonial buildings. Many of them are in serious need of repair, although they bring a historic and sleepily tropical atmosphere to the area. This was once the original site of the first Western trade centres in Beihai. Many of these buildings are over 200 years old, yet the street manages to provide a healthy mix of bars, shops and restaurants. An interesting thing you might want to do when you're here is compare the atmosphere during the day and during the night. It's like two different towns. The pace of life during the day is languid at best, and there's definitely a quieter end which can be found on the west side. It's less commercial and a good way to see how the locals go about their lives. As you make your way east up the street, you'll see more of the homes turning into shops, bars, cafes and restaurants. If you haven't had a chance to look inside yet, this is a good place to see the architecture within. So we took you outside on the old street, and you should know that it's not just the shops and the buildings on the outside. There are a lot of buildings that you can go inside, such as this one, which is a reconverted coffee shop. Now, I'm not an architect, so you have to come here yourself to guess what kind of architecture it reminds you of. It's, I guess it's a bit of a mix, that's how I feel. Chinese, traditional Chinese and Western, but come and take a look for yourself.
The mood of the old street alters gradually as the sun goes down. The number of people increases, as do the noise levels. We're here doing rehearsals for the local Old Street Cultural Festival. All I can say is that the whole city is gearing up for it. Young and old alike, everyone seems to be involved in the preparations. You'll be greeted by this type of event if you come down in August. That's when the festival normally takes place.
So we come down to the old street a tiny bit early to see the preparations for tonight's festival. It's very exciting. We've got the kids getting ready, and I think it's going to be an excellent show on the old street tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mambo number 5. And as I continue, you know they getting sweeter. So what can I do? I really try to my Lord. To me, learning is just like a sport. Everything live, it's all good. Then we perfectly straight to the trumpet.
Whether you come during the festival or not, the pattern on the old street remains pretty much the same. It's very quiet during the day, and particularly fun and rowdy during the weekend nights.
Pretty sure you can feel the heat already. That was great from the kids.
We're extremely lucky with our timing. Not only is there the Old Street Cultural Festival going on, but also the Miss World Bikini Contest final.
Hello, hello. Testing 1, 2.
So it's all kicking off. As you can see, we've got the models have just come in, the music's on. It's all going to be crazy tonight.
Time to see what all the fuss in the afternoon was about. You can also decide whether you'd rather visit the old street during the day or at night, or even both like us. If you do make it down to the annual Culture Festival, be prepared to see a very eclectic and broad array of different shows and skills on display. There are approximately 40 bars on Old Street, and much like the proverbial night owl, they only seem to appear after the sun's gone down. Is still relatively off the beaten track when it comes to international tourism, so don't be surprised to find that there aren't too many foreigners around. No doubt, it won't be long until that changes. So enjoy this hidden gem while you still can.
So I'm going to see if I can get up on top. And there's a beer drinking contest. Maybe I can beat some of these people. Who knows? I think I'm pretty good at this, but we'll see.
好的，还有2位来，好的，准备好了吗？1、2、3，预备，哎，还没有开始，还没有开始，还没有开始，来，
Just practicing, just practicing.
预备，1、2、3，开始。好的，注意不要撒球，不要撒球，不要撒球。来来来来，慢慢来，慢慢来，大家为他们加油，好吗？哦，非常的棒！来，我看到外国的这位小伙子非常的棒，非常的棒。
我想吐了。I'm going to be a little sick, but that was a weird.
好的，非常的棒，非常的棒。
So, rather intriguingly, what you can find in Beihai is there are many instances of traditional Western and European architecture dating all the way back to the 19th century, like the building we have behind, which is the former German consulate built in 1886. Now, a lot of these traditional buildings can be found on the old street, but if you just take some time, stroll around, you come off the street like we have, and you can find this now renovated into a kindergarten.
Majority of the old embassies and consulates are still kept in a relatively good state of repair, so they're definitely worth checking out.
Former French consulate. There you go, another nice example.
At the risk of being accused of Boris, I must say the old British consulate still looks particularly imposing. Don't forget to pack your sunscreen when you visit Beihai. The sun is quite fierce during the day. But at least as a peninsula, it offers refreshing seas to the north, west and south.
So, in all likelihood, you burnt yourself to a nice little crisp on the Silver Beach, tanning yourself all day. Now, if you want to get away from the sun, come to Beihai's very own aquarium. It's known as the Oceanorama, rolls right off the tongue. Open from 8 in the morning to 6 p.m. Let's go and have a look.
The Oceanorama and Exhibition Centre of Shellfish and Coral, that's a mouthful, is a must-see for marine creature and aquarium enthusiasts. It's located halfway between the railway station and the Silver Beach, conveniently along the route of the number 3 bus.
Alright, so we've come to a room full of coral, in my humble opinion. You can never get enough coral. This, I'm told, I was just asking, she wasn't sure, but it's supposed to be the local coral because Beihai is very famous for its coral, and Weizhou Island is also very famous, which is where this comes from, all alive, all around.
With over 1,000 kinds of coral and shellfish, the combined complex also features a large collection of fish, sharks and turtles, as well as a fascinating 10-metre tall column-style aquarium. In addition to the sea life, there's also a large section dedicated to China's naval history, with the occasional nod to foreign expeditions as well. Ticket at the desk will cost you 120 RMB at the time of writing. But if you bother to look for a travel agent in Beihai, you could get it for up to 40% discount. But enough of the indoors, time to take on the sun. Beihai Silver Beach lies to the southeast of the city, approximately 10 kilometers from the city centre. The beach itself stretches 1.6 kilometers from east to west, with most people tending to congregate around the middle. It's known inside China as one of the best beaches the country has to offer, mostly owing to its fine white sand, and clean and warm water, as well as gentle waves. Certainly no surfer's paradise, but at least you'll know that you're safe, as the sea here is shark-free.
So I got my mic in my hand so it doesn't fall in the water. But when you come down to Beihai, you simply have to make your way to the Silver Beach. It's the #1 tourist attraction in terms of beaches here. You'll see it completely round, even more so in the evening as it's a little cooler, as you can see now. A little cultural thing, don't be surprised to find that here in Beihai and in China as a whole, people still enjoy wearing their Speedos. I'm wearing some rather trendy, longer shorts, some boardies, but just so you know, people do love their Speedos. Enjoy!
For many people, this is the main reason to come down to Beihai. The beach, I mean. On top of the water and sand, there's a pleasant boardwalk as well as palms rustling in the breeze. You can also get all the standard water sports here. You'll find showers and lockers available just off the boardwalk, priced at 10 RMB at the time of writing. It's also absolutely free to come here, and you may be lucky enough to try your hand at being a lifeguard on Baywatch. Or not. Much like on Old Street, it's all quiet during the day, but things really heat up at night. And tonight in particular is one of the hottest of the year, and not just temperature-wise. Beihai has been hosting the Miss World International Beauty Pageant since 2005, and this year a total of 40 lovely ladies from 32 countries competed in the finals.
I think we've got some really front row seats here, absolutely front row seats. In all honesty, I've never seen quite so many ladies in one place at one time, but it's an enjoyable show, very artistic.
Over and above being a simple beauty pageant, it was a chance for the whole city to capture the imagination of the world, as visitors arrived in droves to be entertained by fireworks, music and models.
Wow. This one, dude, look on the right. This is
Just so you know, Beihai is a tropical city, so despite it being clear blue skies and sunny all day long, do be prepared for the odd shower. So make sure you pack your sunscreen and your umbrellas.
Alright, I don't know if you can see behind, the poor girls, it's raining, they haven't even got a waterproof like I have, the poor things they're having. But look at them, what absolute troopers. They look fantastic from here, and hopefully none of them will slip over. But I think it adds something to the event. Everyone's still here, everyone's still enjoying themselves. Fantastic!
Things you really have to do when you make it to Beihai is to take a ferry to Huizhou Island. You can choose to take either a slow ferry or a fast one. The slow ferry, which takes around 90 minutes, costs about 100 RMB, and the fast ferry, which only takes an hour, costs twice as much. Situated south of Beihai, Huizhou is the largest island of Guangxi.
That's it, quick 1 hour trip and we're here.
Be aware though that when you disembark from the ferry, you'll find plenty of hawkers. So my advice is either plan well in advance, or if you haven't booked a hotel, then have a firm idea of your price range. Right, I'm going to see if I can find myself some suitable accommodation.
So we've just come off the boat and we're looking for some accommodation, and this is the best hotel in Huizhou, and it's not bad. Now, Guizhou is still a developing island, so you'll find the majority of the hotels are either homestays, B&Bs and budget, but you can find your pick of some 4-star ones like the one here. Well, I love the room, I've got to be honest, but we come down, checked out the prices, and unfortunately slightly out of my price range. Now, even though the lady just informed me there's a 50% discount, but it does bring me on to another piece of information. Any of the hotels that you come to in China, make sure you ask if they have a promotion on, because almost all of the time the advertised rate is not the rate that you're going to end up paying. But as I said, a bit out of my price range, so we're going to check out somewhere a bit more local.
As it's a relative newcomer to the tourism scene, there aren't a huge variety of hotels. But like Beihai, it's developing at an incredible rate, so expect this to change. But if you come during the holidays, make sure you book early, as it can get pretty packed out.
So, you can get yourself a room for the night, retailing from $10 to $20, which is definitely more my style, in the local hotels. What a bargain. And a beautiful view over the sea. Just perfect. So here with Everett, who's one of the guests at this wonderful house. How are you finding Guizhou Island?
Pretty good.
Yeah? You've enjoyed it? How long have you been here for?
Like a week, almost a week.
A week.
Yeah.
What's been the best part about Guizhou Island?
I guess it's like the beach or something.
Yeah? You've been here before?
Nope.
One of the great things about Guizhou, like most islands, is that you can find seafood aplenty. And who doesn't love freshly caught seafood? You'll find small eateries scattered all over the island, but you'll find the best seafood market in Nanwan Bay, where we are now.
That's what you've got to love about coming down to the seaside. You get fresh fish, you get to pick the fish before we go in and eat it in a second. There's a lovely salty breeze coming across. You know, it just makes you feel relaxed, ready to eat some very, very fresh fish. So, the food has finally arrived and we've got ourselves some extremely fresh stuff. You might have seen it picked out before, the sea snail that I had a look at. We've got some crab, we've got some noodles, some seafood noodles, and the star of the show. This poor guy here, I feel a bit guilty about it, but we're going to celebrate his life in style by eating his delicious meat. Cheers.
There are many pleasant beaches all over the islands, where you'll find similar water and sand to what you had in Beihai. There's an interesting cultural aspect that you'll find here, and on China's beaches as a whole. That is that even more people tend to come out in the evenings when it's cooler. Be sure not to miss the incredible sunsets on Guizhou Island. It's mesmerizing and even a little romantic. That said, I'd recommend coming for at least a day and a night, so you get to enjoy everything the island has to offer. Guizhou Island is made from a natural volcano. And while religion is not often the focal point of sightseeing, the Catholic Church here is worth a visit. The church is interesting and totally different from other landmarks. In the 1860s, French priests came to Guizhou Island to try and convert the locals, and thus they founded the church in 1870. The architecture is typically Baroque, and most of the villagers around the church are actually devout Christians. Although they may appear to go about some of the rituals in a slightly different way, it was enjoyable seeing the local Catholic band. Formed of Quaternary period volcanic rocks and lavas, Guizhou is China's largest and youngest volcanic island, although it was formed over 7,000 years ago. With a dense vegetation and a beautiful landscape, it's particularly rich in lava-eroded caverns, as well as a variety of different sea animals. It's important to check the local times for when the tide comes in at your hotel reception, or even practice reading your Mandarin and checking it in the local paper. That way, you should be able to plan a good long hike and see the various types of rocks and the island's silhouette. Above all, Guizhou Island and Beihai encompass much of the beauty of this part of China. It's fresh, clean, and at times rather hot and humid, but also a great place to enjoy a nice beach holiday and a bit of culture.
Well, hopefully you're able to take some of that in behind. It's just so relaxing here. There's a lovely sea breeze coming across and a fantastic view, as you can see. And that's pretty much what you can expect when you come to Beihai and its surrounding pearls like Guizhou Island. I'm Mark Edwards, and I'll catch you very soon on another episode of Travelogue.